This blogger swears that she only works 20 hours a week and makes $100,000 a month. A month, not a year, a month. Follow my step by step guide, or follow my step by step side hustle guide to do the same. So, a blogger who has claimed to consistently make $100,000 a month from her side hustle has now detailed a step by step guide on how she is able to make the cash. Rosemary Groner insists that she only works just 20 hours a week to make this six-figure salary, and it's all down to her approach in setting up her site, The Busy Budgeter. And basically, The Busy Budgeter basically, let's see, looks like this. Get your money in your home under control. Hi, I'm Rosemary and blah 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 blah. Seeing this, you could just pay to be on all those websites. It doesn't really matter. And here's the thing: this pretty much looks like just like a blogging, like a typical blogging website, right? And the thing is, a lot of people don't necessarily know this, but you could actually probably make a lot of money blogging if you set it up correctly, right? It all depends on how you set up your funnel, basically, to whatever product you're selling. Let's see. And she told Side Hustle Nation she went from earning $18 to earning $100,000 a month in the space of just 2.5 years. And here's the thing, I understand it sounds absolutely insane to make 100 grand a month because it is, but there are people making that type of money. It's rare, but people are making that type of money. Is she making that type of money? I have no idea, right? Unless she were to actually like show like her either her deposits into her bank account with like a recording or something, unless she's able to show like transaction history. Like I don't know whether or not to believe this, right? So Rosemary did that by eliminating anything that wasn't important for my growth, she adds. The former state trooper has now detailed a 12-point plan and step by step guide with the aim of helping others to replicate her success, probably at a fee. And look, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, right? Like, for example, if you stumble upon this episode, I got out of debt and grew my net worth, right? I sell a product that shows people how I did it, right? There's nothing wrong with doing that, right? But to her to basically say that she made basically $100,000 a month in just 2 years, basically from her blog, I don't know if that's really necessarily that case, or that she has like a step by step guide that she was able to do this for. But again, there's nothing wrong with her selling a product on like a guide or a course or whatever. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But for her to basically say like this is like how to do it so that you could replicate it. The thing is like not everyone is going to be able to just replicate her success by following her guide, right? There might be a few people that might do everything that she tells them to do, and they might have things line up just right for them to actually be able to do it, right? But not everyone will be able to get the success that she is having, right? Just like not everyone is going to be able to get out of debt and grow their net worth if they were to buy the product that we sell, right? But anyone can technically do it. That's the reality. Like anyone can technically make a blog and potentially have that blog make money, but can everyone find success and replicate her success? That's a really high ask. She tells aspiring bloggers that they should first start by deciding if the venture is for money or pleasure. I mean, I don't get why it can't be for both. Rosemary, who gave up her home based daycare business to focus on her blog. One thing's for sure, she definitely jumps from one thing to one thing to one thing. I mean, a former state trooper to a home based daycare to now her blog. There's a lot of jumping around. At first, utilized the power of Pinterest to generate interest in the site. Well, that's an interesting way to do that. She says she was able to increase traffic to her page by more than 25 times in just 60 days after creating multiple boards, creating a best of your site, and tracking which pins generate traffic. That's one thing for sure. That is definitely an interesting way to try to generate traffic to your website. Aspiring bloggers should then decide on a niche and choose a name for their site before finding a website host and getting WordPress. She writes, if you want your blog to make money, even if you're also blogging for pleasure, then you need to be self-hosted on WordPress. And here's the thing, you don't have to use WordPress. There's a lot of different websites out there. You could use Wix, you could do whatever. You could use ClickFunnels, you could do quite literally anything. Rosemary also tells aspiring side hustlers that they should get a theme for their blog and a logo. Finally, she says they should start writing. She adds, I did everything that I just told you about, and I gave myself 1 year. 1 year to sacrifice and treat those 10 hours a week that I spend blogging as my job. Every single cent that I made from the blog until I was making more than $1,000 per month went right back into the blog. The only thing I purchased up front was my domain name, hosting, and theme. Then I used my profits to buy the things that would make the biggest difference to my income. More recently, Rosemary has detailed how a decision to stop focusing on search engine optimization may have seen her hits decrease, but she notes that her revenue has still increased. She has also started selling her own products rather than relying on others. Rosemary explains that she started a blog to help others with their financial planning. I figured if I could help just one other person like me, it would be worth it, she adds. Well, turns out there's a lot of people like me. The blog exploded and has helped over 18 million readers and counting, which is a pretty cool thing, right? And here's the thing. Again, I don't know if she's actually making $100,000 a month. I don't know that. She very well could be, especially selling a product in the financial space. While starting a side hustle can be easy, it's best not to overlook the tax implications of a new stream of income. Any side job that nets you over $400 in annual income requires that you file a 1099 form reporting your income. And jobs that pay you through online processors like PayPal or Venmo require a 1099K form specifically. So the US Sun has already reported on a woman who gets paid $100 an hour just for reading books. And a YouTuber, Monique Hinton, explained a side hustle that involves using a super easy software to design coloring books that you can sell through Amazon. Well, that's an interesting side hustle. But here's the thing, feel free to give your thoughts, right? Let's see. Okay, so that's basically it for this story. I thought it was an interesting thing because a lot of people basically forget about blogs. Because, people use TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, YouTube, podcasting, all that sort of stuff. And a lot of people forget the written aspect of the internet space. And what people don't understand is that blogging is basically long form content. And what I mean by this is that if you have, for example, a TikTok video, 15 seconds long, blah, 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 whatever, right? The likelihood that you're going to get someone to buy something yours or another product's, like company's product, is very slim if you're doing it through a TikTok video. But if you're doing that through like long form content, like a 10-minute plus YouTube video, a 10-minute plus podcast, or an hour long podcast, or a very well written, long blog post, you could end up generating a crazy amount of sales. Like, this is the thing. There are some blogs out there where the sites only have like 5 to 10 blog posts on their sites. But those posts are written so well and they are able to direct so much traffic to the products that are listed within their blog post that these websites that are built like that can generate six figures a year every single year with those very same posts with barely doing any extra work because of how evergreen those posts are, and they are just so like niche specific that like, oh, you have like a website completely dedicated to like credit cards, right? You have 10 posts about the best credit cards for specific reasons, and you write like a 5 to 10,000 blog post article that gets thousands of visitors every single day. You're going to make some disgusting amounts of revenue from that post. Like, it's going to be crazy. The same thing could be said by a very long YouTube video or a very long podcast. Like, a lot of people forget that you don't even need like a lot of traffic to generate a lot of money. So, for example, if a person had like a video, just one video on all of their social media, get like 10,000 views from unique visitors. If that video is done well and something very specific and it leads them to a sales page for a very high ticket product, I'm talking like $1,000 to $2,000 product, right? And out of the 10,000 viewers that go to it, the 10,000 visitors that went through that video, you have, I don't know, like 1,000 people go to that sales page. Then you get basically about 100 people to that sales page and buy that product. Okay? That's six figures in revenue from one single video that, if that video is designed in like an evergreen way, will keep on getting more views, which in turn will mean more chances of it getting revenue, right? Generating revenue by selling that product. This is why like there's a very good, well, there's actually two very good basically examples of this on YouTube right now. There is a YouTube channel called alux.com and a YouTube channel that has like a guy on it called Nate O'Brien. Both of those YouTube channels are focused on purely evergreen content, and even though individually the video views aren't a lot, I mean way more than whatever I get, but even though like compared to like an entertainment channel or something like that, they don't get those types of views. They get views every day, every hour, every month, every year, of new people, of returning people, but forever and ever and ever. And so like a video that they make like 3 4 years ago can still be generating revenue either through ad revenue or them selling a product, because one of how evergreen it is, how niche specific it is, it helps people and it leads people to buy either their own product or somebody else's product that they believe in. So I'm saying that it's basically possible for her to make $100,000 a month, even though this number is just so astronomically high. Like, imagine you making $100,000 a month. That's some crazy amounts of revenue. It is possible. It is extremely hard to do. It is very rare for someone to actually pull it off, but it could definitely be done because it's been done before. It's just people need to have reality when they see things, right? Because here's the thing. For example, the product that we sell helps people to get out of debt, right? Technically speaking, everyone can get out of debt. It's a very simple process, right? We go over it. But does that mean every single person will get out of debt? No, right? Because some people don't have the work ethic. Some people aren't willing to even learn how to do it. Some people will buy a product and literally just never even go through it. It's just people are different, right? Human beings are different from one another. Just because you do the exact same thing that another person does not mean that the outcome is going to be 100% the same, right? We are genetically different, right? We have different habits. The goal is to improve your habits for the lifestyle that you want to have. So it's just something to really think about. And again, if you want to learn how to get out of debt and master your money and how I got out of debt and grew my net worth, go down below. You can learn how. Very simple steps that anyone can actually do. But that doesn't necessarily guarantee you that you are going to have the exact same results that I did. You could definitely get out of debt, but will you have the exact same results past that? I don't know.